starts right now on KDWB.
Is there a problem in this relationship? Well, Maggie seems to think that there is. Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
Let's cut right to it, because you know what? Every week, people send us an email or a text and say, Dave, shut up. Stop talking so
Let someone
much.
else talk.
Let the woman tell the story. What's the story on War of the Roses? Why are you on today?
Well, I sent an email and called because basically I'm dating this guy named Lucas. We've been dating for like 6 months almost. And, he's not a big phone talker, which I guess a lot of people nowadays aren't. We primarily communicate via text and then we see each other. Mm-hmm. But usually we would be like, good morning, how are you doing? What's going on with your day? Like multiple text messages throughout the day, almost like an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
And it was nice. And now, like, I text him good morning, and he doesn't get back to me until, like, good afternoon. And he's even gone days without texting me in the last few weeks. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is it slowing down so much? Is he, like, still interested?
Yeah.
Or is he with somebody else? Like, I don't really know what's going on. And I just kind of want to figure it out. I mean, it's still early in the relationship. But
Well, I mean, after 5 or 6 months, it depends, but that's not super early. But let me ask you a question. You're not hearing from him as much. Do you see him as much? And tell me how often you used to. I feel like a doctor getting your symptoms.
I know.
How often did you used to see him, and how often are you seeing him now?
we used to see each other like 3-4 times a week. And now, I mean, last week I only saw him once. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's that busy with work from what he's told me. So it's not like that. If he's like, oh, things are ramping up at work, or I'm really busy with training for something. Like, he's not doing anything special to be like so out of time. So I don't know why we've gone from 3 to 4 times to just once a week. And this week we haven't even set up seeing each other at all.
Okay. So, I mean, if you were going to guess, and I know it's hard to guess, you probably racked your brain about it. If you had to guess, what do you think it might be? Is there anything that stands out?
I mean, the number one thing that always comes out is like, is he interested in someone else? Is he with somebody else? And that's what I'm hoping you guys can help me with, because that's really all I can think about. I mean, nothing's changed in regards to like what we do together or me or him. Like, I felt like everything was still fine, and then all of a sudden it just kind of started tapering off. So all I can think about is it's someone else.
All right. Well, that's what War of the Roses is for. We can find out if there is someone else. This is pretty much a classic situation. So if you hang on for a second, Maggie, we'll come back and we'll call him. His name is what again?
Lucas?
We'll call Lucas.
Yes.
And we'll see if he wants to send roses to you or some name, ex-girlfriend, some new name, whatever.
Back to busting. The Dave Ryan Show's War of the Roses.
Simple to understand War of the Roses. There's no rebus involved so far. There's no weird thing going on. It's basically Maggie is dating this guy, Lucas, who seems to have backed off.
Yeah.
And you've been seeing him for, what'd you say, 5 months, 6 months?
Yeah, close to 6 months now.
Okay.
And sorry.
No, go ahead.
And, like, before that, I was, like, one of those girls from your other thing that you do, the Why Am I Single?
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. I was, like, that was totally me. I was single forever. The last time I had a boyfriend for, like, over a month even was back in high school. And I was one of those girls that I thought, like, okay, I'm a good catch. I have a college degree. I have a good job. I don't really have a lot of debt. I'm easygoing, I think. But then you listen to that, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I have some other things, like I'm too picky, or I'm too, I don't know, any plethora of things that you guys talk about on that show.
Right. Yeah.
And so I get all concerned.
Okay. So you hear the girls on Why Am I Single, and you go, oh, my God, that used to be me, up until Lucas. What was different about Lucas that all of a sudden things clicked? I mean, you guys just got along better, or he liked your quirks, or what wasn't with Lucas that makes you guys get along so well?
Well, actually, it's like not our quirks. I felt like I was normal, and finally he was normal, and now we just clicked. We had a lot to talk about. We weren't like, this is even weirder, but like we weren't crazy. Like, I'm not trying to go base jumping or, do some crazy activities, and neither was he. We were both happy with like dinner and a date, like dinner and a movie. That's all that was really needed for us to have a good night out, and I think that's what clicks about us.
Well, but now you say that like you guys used to like talk all the time, but now he's pulling away. You feel like he takes longer to respond or whatever.
Yeah, he's just not responding in the same manner like it used to be. I can't even count the amount of text messages we'd have going back and forth because it was like an ongoing conversation. And now it's like, I think yesterday it was like 5 text messages, and some of them were like one-word answers, and it's just completely out of character from the rest of our relationship. And I just really like him now, and I'm getting really invested. And
Yep. And plus, you don't want to go back to being like, single Maggie again forever because you were single for a long time.
But I understand your concern.
I don't know. I've got what? I'm just trying to be encouraging.
That doesn't feel encouraging.
Oh,
it
it's
feels
not
the opposite.
encouraging.
No, it feels the opposite.
Let's make the phone call. We're going to call Lucas right now. We're going to tell him that we're from his cable company or his phone company or whatever, and we're going to offer him a dozen roses if he takes a dumb survey, and then we'll see who he sends roses to. Hopefully it's Maggie, and there's no other name that it should be, so let's go ahead and call him. Here we go.
I'm good for you.
Lucas, we can get you a dozen long-stem romantic roses as our way of saying thank you for taking the time out of your day today to participate in our survey. Who would you like to send the roses to? We'll need a first and last name, please.
I actually don't really have anyone to send roses to. It's okay. I don't need them. You guys can go ahead and keep them.
They're totally free. I mean, do you have a friend, or if red's a little too strong for you, we could do yellow. I think yellow represents friendship. We can do different color roses if that's better for you.
Yeah, I guess that could work.
Okay, so we'll do a dozen yellow roses.
All right. And they're free, right?
Yes, totally free. Just our way of saying thank you for taking the time out of your day to participate in our survey.
All right. Well, I guess why not? Yeah, you can send them to Sarah. Sarah.
Okay, and you can attach a card if you would like. What would you like the note to say?
Just I don't know. I don't want to sound too lovey. Just say thinking of you, I guess.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Lucas, I want you to repeat after me. There are no roses.
There are no roses.
There are no roses. Hey, I know it's confusing, but I never know how to break the news to the poor guy on the phone who thinks he just sent roses. Hey, Lucas, it's Dave Ryan over at KDWB, and there are no roses.
Yellow or red.
Yellow or red, but we are listening in to see who you would send roses to. And when I say we are listening in, I mean Maggie, your girlfriend, is listening in, along with people who listen to KDWB to see who you would send roses to, and myself, Dave, and that was Fallon that you were talking to. It's not Jackie from your cable company. So, but I guess that Maggie wanted to know, would you send roses to her?
She's been feeling like you've been a little distant and withdrawn lately.
I guess I was hoping it wasn't somebody else.
Maggie, I don't want you to feel bad here. Okay. The problem is, I just need some space. Like, every day you're texting me, hey, can I come over? And every morning, and it's, I baked you cookies last night. It's really sweet. It's just, sometimes it's just too much every weekend. Like, you want to come over on Friday, and then you stay till Saturday, then it's Sunday, and then I just, I don't get any time for myself.
Maggie, does that make sense? I mean, have you been inviting yourself into Lucas's life a lot? Like, every day?
Like, Maggie, a couple months ago, I had mentioned that I wanted to go kayaking, and, all of a sudden I'm getting a text from you saying that, oh, you found a place, you know, it's a good price for going on the Mississippi River. And you sent me a link, and you're like, you know, this weekend we can go. And I never invited you. It was just something that I wanted to do.
So,
and, you know, it's just stuff like that.
So Maggie, do you see that, Maggie, that you have done that? I mean, if that's true, you kind of invite yourself into his life, and maybe he wants a chance to either go with his buddies or with his friends or whoever. Maggie, you're getting awful quiet. Do you notice that?
I just thought... I do, now that he says it and you guys are all saying it like that, I guess I do invite myself, but I thought being in a relationship was just about not really inviting yourself, but about being together. So I didn't think it was inviting myself. I thought it was just like a duh, I'll be there kind of thing, like an implicit invitation always. When you're together, you just do things together. I mean, I thought we were like a real couple. I guess I was wrong and we were just dating, but I mean, we're not in high school anymore. People don't go around saying, oh, do you want to be my boyfriend? Do you want to be my girlfriend? And give you a letter with check boxes in it anymore. I thought I was just his girlfriend, which meant that I'd just be around.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think I see what you're saying, because that's what happens, especially when you're early on in a relationship. You're disgustingly with each other constantly. And maybe since it's like almost 6 months, he's kind of past that like honeymoon phase where now he's like comfortable with you and just wanted some space. And you like being with him. But it's apparently just a little too much for him. And I don't think it's too unreasonable that on Sundays he wants to hang out with his guys or whatever.
Well, I think that, I mean, if I knew somebody who every time I was going to go for a run or go for a bike ride, somebody said, oh, well, I'd love to join you. It's like, I didn't remember asking you. Like,
are you more concerned with like that she doesn't have her own life? Like, and not in a mean way, but like most people want to be with someone they have their own friends. They can go do their own things. Like, you don't have to do every single thing together, because I think it's unhealthy too for any one person to wrap their entire life around the other significant other and their schedule and their life and their friends. It's like kind of unhealthy.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just sometimes I want to have some alone time, like they were saying, the running. Yeah, I like to run. I don't like to run and have to have a conversation with the person I'm running with, or you know, sometimes I just want to run on my own, or sometimes I want to get out there in nature and kayak on my own. It's not.
Oh my God!
I get it.
You
No,
and I have nothing in common, by the way.
Well, let me ask you this then. I mean, you sent the roses to Sarah. Is it time to move on, or is there hope now that Maggie knows that if she backed off a little bit and gave you more space, that there would be room for this?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Maggie, you're a great girl, and I did enjoy our time together, but I do think that this is kind of just, you know, fizzling out. I mean, I wasn't cheating on you or whatever, Sarah. I mean, it's just a friend. It's not, that's not a big deal. It's just, you know, it was just too much, and I'm sorry that I wasn't honest or just upfront about it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I understand, and maybe next week you guys can have me on Why Am I Single?